Welcome to Wisdom's Peaceful Harmony. I'm Dr. Lynette, and in this video, I am going to talk about reflective listening. And reflective listening is a specific listening skill, and you want to use it when there is conflict or a problem to solve or any kind of indirect or vague communication. So I'm going to talk about why we need to use reflective listening at times, and what it is, and then I'll give you 4 steps on how to do it. And for more videos about just general listening skills, and also for other videos that I'll mention in this video, I will post the playlist at the end of this video, so you can look for that. So why is reflective listening important? Well, words do not always relay a message as clearly as the message is in the thoughts of the speaker. There's a message that is sent by the speaker, and then there is a message that's received by the listener, and these messages aren't always the same. So reflective listening allows the listener to feed back the message that was heard in order to then allow the speaker to clarify whether the message that was heard is the correct message that they meant to send, and whether it's the full message they meant to send. Now, this immediate feedback and clarification avoids misunderstandings that could be based on the natural assumptions that the listener might make about the message that's heard. So what is reflective listening? It is a skill that promotes greater validation in communication. And in a previous video, I talked about what is validation. But just in brief, validation gives value and respect to the other person's message, which is really important. And you can do this whether you agree with their position on something or not. Reflective listening involves reiterating what you heard in order to be sure that you're understanding the speaker's message correctly. It's like using a mirror, and it informs both parties as to whether the listener heard the message correctly. Reflective listening helps to clarify what the speaker is saying, and then if the speaker wasn't clear at the outset, then they will get more and more clear as this process goes on. Reflective listening lets the speaker know that the listener values being able to understand the message. And again, this refers to that need to validate. And reflective listening can be used in just about any relationship. It could be in a couple, a family, parent-child relationships. It can be used with strangers. It can be used with friends. And it can be used really regarding just about any topic. So here is how reflective listening works. There's 4 steps, and then after I give the steps, I will give an example. So first, the speaker speaks. The speaker gives the message. Pretty simple. Second, the listener paraphrases, or you say in your own words, the message back to the speaker. And paraphrasing may start with something like, "What I hear you saying is," or "Do you mean such and such?" or "Let me see if what I heard is what you are saying." Step 3 is the listener asks, "Is this the message that you intended?" You're checking to find out if what you heard is what the speaker meant. And then number 4, if your paraphrase isn't what the speaker meant, don't argue about it. The speaker will just repeat the message until it is heard clearly. Be sure that you don't think that you, as the listener, you don't think you can read between the lines. You want to wait to hear from the speaker what they are saying. And this can take several back and forths. The speaker might also ask for confirmation about the clarification by saying, what do you hear me saying? Okay, so an example, Jim says to his wife, "Lisa, your mother is so much trouble, and I'm tired of all of your complaining." This is the message that's sent. Lisa then, as the listener, Lisa asks if she received the message correctly, and she asks Jim, "Do you mean you're not going to talk with me about my mother anymore?" If what Lisa said is not what Jim meant, then Jim has the chance to repeat the message until it's heard correctly. So Jim says that he doesn't intend to stop talking with her about her mother, but he wants to talk with her about what she thinks that he could do to help the situation. So he says, I don't mean that I want to stop talking with you about your mother. What I mean is that I'm going to start asking you what I can do to help. Your mother seems like a lot of trouble, and I want to know what I can do to help. So I can offer ideas if you want them, or you can share your ideas with me. By her immediate feedback, Lisa's able to avoid a misunderstanding based on her assumptions about Jim's first message. Reflective listening gives you additional opportunities to clarify communication. And this is similar to instant replays and how they help you in a football game. They help clarify a play in a football game. So you get more chances to see and to hear what is really happening. If necessary, as the listener, you can pretend that you're a stranger trying to understand what the person is expressing as if you have no position on the matter. This might help you keep your viewpoint from clouding your mind while you're trying to understand the other person's viewpoint. This is not the time to judge or to correct the message or to interject your thoughts or your position. You're the listener. You're trying to learn. This is the time to learn about the other person. This is the time to assert your peace into the relationship. Keep yourself at peace while you're listening. And I am doing a series of videos about peace, so be sure to subscribe to get the notifications if you want to see those. So be sure not to overuse this skill. Don't overuse reflective listening, as it can lose its effectiveness with overuse. However, be sure to use it anytime that you assume that you know what someone is meaning to say, and especially when there's conflict or confusion or indirect communication. And also look on the playlist for a video about how to create clear communication. As you communicate, creation is unfolding through you. So step into the power of your love to bring forth your greatest listening ability. Welcome, and please subscribe.